don't tell anyone. Right? I was like, okay. He's like, I'm part of the Proud Boys, and I run the chapter out of West Virginia. I was like, oh, okay. There was no one that was going to associate with him after he was one of the people at January 6th in the space. He promised other Proud Boys that if he was clipped, arrested, he'd never say a damn thing, though he'd need someone to torch his computer. Man, remember the days when anyone would say anything like slightly anti-Jewish and they'd be called a Nazi? Yeah, I do. I do remember that. Because I was part of that. But I will say this about my my whole involvement with that is that whenever I said it, I was right. Don't think I ever called someone like what's his name? Rob Noor. Never called him a Nazi. I don't think I've ever called, who's another, like CTV, if anyone remembers Critically Thinking Veteran. I don't think that I ever called him a Nazi. Even though they would say some weird shit sometimes. But you know who I did call a Nazi? Mio. You know who I did call a Nazi? I can't remember his name. He was the black Nazi from YouTube or from Twitch. If y'all remember, you're wrong about me. That's right. I thought you weren't a Nazi, but then turned out you were. But you make you do good work on the editing, so I can't fire you. Suspect Sushi? No, Suspect Sushi isn't a Nazi. He's just retarded. And I know I need to stop saying that word. Sorry, Tron. As soon as I started saying it, I immediately remembered. But Suspect Sushi, he was never a Nazi, I don't think. He was just a conservative LARPer who LARPed so hard that he got himself involved in January 6th. I might have been the first person that he told and showed direct proof of him being a Proud Boy. Yeah, when you mean too close to the sun. I remember him like telling me like, hey, I'm going to tell you something in confidence. Don't tell anyone. Right? I was like, okay. He's like, I'm part of the Proud Boys, and I run the chapter out of West Virginia. I was like, oh, okay. So you just wanted to meme. I gotcha. And then he says, no. Here, I'll sign you up for our newsletter. What's your email? So I gave him my stream email, and wouldn't you know it, I get added to the West Virginia chapter of the Proud Boys newsletter. He told Vosh he wasn't there. True. Brittany also probably isn't a Nazi. I think that Brittany just says whatever will get her the most attention. And he has sticky notes wall full of better insults and call it your retard wall. True. Yes. Being invited to the West Virginia newsletter makes me a Proud Boy. No, we're talking about Brittany from Politically Provoked. I don't think that anyone knows her last name. She doesn't have a title. Alrighty. Let's get started. Let's start with this one. Yeah, little Timmy Brittany. I forgot about little Timmy. Sushi clip. Why is it so... Let me see here. All right. One was West Virginia Proud Boy Jeff Finley, who was in Boots on Ground and who'd marched with the Proud Boys on January 6th. He reiterated that he knew of no plan to storm the Capitol, and whoever this is, Rel, certainly never told him to. On Cross, the government played this audio of Finley lying in a post-J6 call-in podcast interview. I don't know any Proud Boys who are even remotely close to being inside the Capitol, said Finley, a fourth-degree Proud Boy who had himself gone inside with... What does deaf mean? Defendant Zach Rel. Gotcha.
Proud Boys. but even he said like, yeah, she shouldn't have been shot. But like, regardless, the attack of the Capitol is, I don't know, that's kind of colorful language, but I wouldn't
No, it
know
was
anything about that. I
pretty
don't know.
clearly
Listen,
an
I don't
attack
know
of the
any.
Capitol.
I don't know any Proud Boys who were even remotely close to being inside of the Capitol
Oh,
personally.
I don't
So
care what you personally know. They were one of the
I
groups
mean,
that.
like,
I forgot that about this debate. He like went on to Vosh's stream, giga drunk, and everyone was messaging him like, "Hey, Vosh is banned from Twitch. You're gonna get banned. You're gonna get banned. You're gonna get banned." And he's like, "Yeah, I do not care." I guess there's a reason he didn't care, because he needed to be. There was no one that was going to associate with him after he was one of the people at January 6th in the space. So
I mean, like, well, when you're in leadership, you know leadership, and I know that none of the leadership that you say that, oh, known leaders, known members of the Proud Boys, which are usually the faces of the Proud Boys, none of them were even remotely close to being inside. I
They
know
were
that for
one of
sure.
the groups.
But even he said like, yeah, she shouldn't have been shot. But like, regardless, the attack of the Capitol is, I don't know, that's.
Finley testified that the media isn't law enforcement or a court, so he had no obligation to tell the truth. He said he was trying to protect Proud Boys from being doxxed and not from criminal liability. He admitted having destroyed evidence, but said it was for the same reasons. And this J9 Telegram message also shown to him in cross-examination. He promised other Proud Boys that if he was clipped, arrested, he'd never say a damn thing, though he'd need someone to torch his computer. Again, this was about fear of doxing, he testified. The pics I have on my phone are few, but if I get clipped, I'll never say a damn thing, though I'll need someone to torch my computer. Oof. That was the first guy ever debated on Twitch. I wasn't even streaming when it happened. I just happened to see another streamer who sometimes comes through, but I think because I'm not on Twitch, he's not gonna ever see, you know. But he'll occasionally come through. His name is the Doghouse Show. Old head. But they were talking, they were debating someone else or something like that, and so I jumped on, and they got so offended. They got so offended because we were talking about removing statues, right? Like Charlottesville or any of the statues during BLM and stuff like that, you know, like removing statues. And I brought up a counterexample, like, okay, you're talking about the Washington Redskins. Like, what if there was like the Jacksonville like Negroes, right? Like not the like not the like hard R N word, not even the soft A N word, but like, you know, the word that Martin Luther King used. Like, what's wrong with that, right? Obviously, that'll be a little bit offensive to people, though, right? Maybe people wouldn't like to say that name out loud, the Jacksonville, like, N-words, basically. And they were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like, bro, I'm sorry. Like, of all the people to get super ass mad, super offended over language, I would not have assumed that, like, MAGA people, Trump people, you know, in 2020 would ever be the offended by words crowd. But, you know, I wonder what they would say for Stalin's statue. Well, they're neither consistent nor does it matter what they would say. They didn't like it because it was something that the left was doing. If the left wanted to remove a Stalin statue and they had, you know, like racism as the reasoning for wanting to tear down the statue, they probably would just go along with it. Oh, these leftists see racism in everything. To be fair, they do defend Columbus statue, and he was a genocidal monster. I don't. Here's the thing. This is the only argument that you can make about the statues. If there is a specific locality and people want to remove that statue, you have no right to tell that you know community what they should and shouldn't spend their tax money on. If they don't want to, you know, pay the maintenance fees for the park, including, you know, the preservation of a statue, even if that costs a little bit, if they don't want to do that and they want to vote to take it down, they should have that right. And I think that that should go for literally every statue. If someone doesn't want a statue in their community and they get enough signatures, and there's enough people in that community that don't want it, that's fine. Take it down. I don't think that I agree with just tearing down statues in general, like because you don't like the person that's depicting. But if you know, if you're tearing down a statue through means that shows that most of the people there don't want to, have that there. There's a Stalin statue in Washington State. I thought it was a statue of Lenin. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that that statue should be up, but if the people there want to have it up, then they can have it up. I think it's a bad look. But I don't care about statues. I just don't. I also think that like a good medium part for all the people that want to make the argument that the statues, it's celebrating heritage or, our history and blah, blah, blah. That's part of our culture. Yeah, put it in a museum then. I also think that's a totally valid response, right? Oh, people continuously paint his hand red, blood on his hands. Wait, really? Does it say that in the Wikipedia article? The statue's hands are often painted and repainted red to protest what critics perceive as the glorification of what they see as a historical villain who has blood on his hands. The Taco Del Mar restaurant, one of the retail property's tenants, constructed a monumental scale burrito wrapped in foil for the statue to hold, which one Fremont publisher said did not turn out as intended, but rather looked like a doobie. Oh no. Oh, can we please see I want to see the doobie. Okay, that's the red hand. Off. 1 second. I want to see the... Oh, well, they don't have a picture of the doobie. What a shame. Oh, wait. No pictures of the doobie. Oh, what a shame. Well, welcome. For people that are new, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Kick, I'm Sansol. I am a political science student. I like to talk about politics. I like to argue about politics. We talk about all sorts of fun things on here like drama and politics. And I like to argue with people and chat about a lot of different things. Like, comment, and subscribe. I don't like to shill. Also,